welcome to fourth period of Mr. Jackson's Debate Week 2013. This is the last period that we'll have debates. We have two debates on tap today. The first debate about waterboarding will feature Case on the pro and Nick on the con, and then we'll have a debate between Hamilton and Ms. Berthiaume about same-sex marriage. So, Case, pro.
Waterboarding is an intense form of interrogation used on high-value criminals and terrorists. Though it may seem unethical, we have to remember that these tactics are being used on such people that cause events like 9/11 and the Boston bombing. These are not being used on your average criminals or petty thieves who may be cracked by such things as yelling and threats of prison. These people were raised to hate our country, to stop at nothing to wreak havoc. Lives will be put at risk if we cannot use effective methods of interrogation, because without this tactic, we may not have ever been able to find people such as Osama bin Laden and other Al-Qaeda leaders. We have to be able to obtain information about the people facilitating these attacks and the attacks themselves so we can protect our country. And if it's a question of morals, just think what they would do to us, and what they already have done to us. Waterboarding isn't punishment or torture. It is us trying to find out who is attacking us and why, so we can stop the people persecuting us. We only want to protect our own country.
We cannot do waterboarding to try to extract information and to exploit the terrorists. It's still form of torture, which is against most international laws. The fact is we can't do this to other human beings because it's morally wrong. There has to be standards and set and ideas. There has to be a line between good and evil, right and wrong. We have to take into consideration how far the weapons will go bring hands to their terrorist suspects. Let's even ensure our fine images for Larry King said that waterboarding is drowning because it gives you the complete sensation of being drowning. If it is done wrong, you certainly could drown. You could swallow your tongue, and if it's done wrong, it's worse. Current President Barack Obama banned the use of waterboarding and several other interrogation methods in January 2009. He boarded the U.S. personnel into the Army jail and news island. There are other tactics they can use besides waterboarding that is a more humane way of releasing information from a suspected terrorist. CIA interrogators used waterboarding 266 times on two key prisoners from Al-Qaeda. They had to use waterboarding that many times, then it was ineffective for the prisoners and is torturing them because they did not get any information out of them, but they kept on using it.
Waterboarding is one of the most effective ways we have, though it's not a perfect solution. It's basically our only option. These people are evil, and we do not wish pain on them, but we must be able to find out everything we can to keep our people safe. And as for the statement that if it's done wrong, they may swallow their tongues, the U.S. government is good at not doing it wrong.
Well, yes, it may be useful to protect the lives of U.S. citizens, but I mean, Barack Obama agrees with me when I say it is a form of torture because he banned it in January 2009. Another method they can use instead of waterboarding is put the prisoner in hypothermia, and that's a condition in which core temperatures drop below the required temperature for average body weight. The diagnosis of it is just shivering and mental confusion, but it will get extracted information out of them. And it's not likely to cause death. Waterboarding, like you said, it's not done wrong, but if it is done wrong, it could cause death to a person. So it's oh yeah.
Well, hypothermia is a medical condition that can cause death, so if that is done wrong, it may also result in death. And waterboarding, the only symptoms are it induces panic because it creates a sensation of drowning and nothing more.
to listen to a debate about waterboarding featuring Case and Nick. I'm here with Ms. Berthume and Mr. Jackson. Ms. Berthume, what did you think of the debate about waterboarding?
I liked the discussion of possible alternatives and a little bit about the effectiveness. I would like to have heard more about whether this was an effective technique. I know some reports have indicated that waterboarding, in addition to causing pain, leads to false information, and I think that that's sort of one of the key issues that could have been explored a little more. But overall, I liked it that they were responding to each other.
All right.
No, go ahead.
Our final debate on tap for the Woodward Academy Debate Week is about same-sex marriage, and it will feature Hamilton defending the pro and defending same-sex marriage. And we have a special guest. Ms. Berthume is going to leave the anchor desk and go over to the podium and debate the con side of that debate. So we'll come back here after for a few comments, but let's send it over to the debate between Hamilton and Ms. Berthume.
Having same-sex marriage illegal discriminates and makes same-sex couples feel inferior to those of straight couples. With same-sex marriage, adoption rates will go up, and there's over 100,000 kids waiting for adopted. Adoption is easier when parents are married. After the state of New York legalized same-sex marriage, over 3 years, they had an increase in their economy by $184 million. Also, from the period of 1996 to 2013, a rise of 22% have been okay with gay same-sex marriage. So enough that NFL players and NBA players have been comfortable to come out of the closet, like with Jason College in the past couple of days. In closing, you cannot tell anyone who they want. You cannot tell someone who they decide to marry. It's up to their own business, no matter what their race, religion, or sex is.
Marriage is an important institution. The modern mistake is to think that important things must be planned, sponsored, reviewed, or licensed by the government. The two sides in the debate over gay marriage share an assumption that is essentially collectivist. Instead of accepting either view, let's get the government out of marriage and allow individuals to make their own marriage contracts, as befits a secular, individualist republic at the dawn of the information age. Because I agree with David Boaz of the Cato Institute, I negate today's resolution. My opponent argues that the government should legalize gay marriage. There is much to support in his argument. Equality before the law, the economy, and adoptions are all persuasive reasons to ensure that all families have access to the same legal relationships. I will argue, however, that the government should not be in the business of regulating marriage for anyone, gay or straight. Civil unions, rather than marriage, for all citizens offer the same benefits while removing the government from regulating what was originally a religious institution. I have 3 arguments. First, it eliminates the church and state conflict. Persons of faith could get married in their church, synagogue, or mosque without requiring the government to pass judgment on the relationship at all. The ceremony would only be religious in nature, the same as baptisms, bar mitzvahs, and funerals. When the government relies on religious definitions to form civil relationships, it inherently uses the religious rights of some to trample the religious rights of others. If the government gets out of the business of marriage altogether, there's no conflict. Second, it's the best option for all families. Civil unions for all Americans would allow gay families to adopt, get health and tax benefits, and inherit property on the same plane as straight families. It would improve the economy in the same way same-sex marriage does. It would provide a stable social structure for the children of gay families, children who already exist and are living with their 2 parents, but without the legal benefits of having their family recognized by the government. Finally, it removes the religious objections and social division that comes from government recognition of so-called gay marriage. While I agree that more Americans support same-sex marriage, we need not be anti-gay to recognize that this is a difficult issue for many Americans. If religious marriage is entirely separate from the civil union process, there's no reason not to allow gay Americans to enter the same relationships as straight Americans. Indeed, many Republicans who were initially opposed to any form of equality for gay families are now recognizing that civil unions are an appropriate response. Let's agree with them and make civil unions the legal option for all Americans.
In Massachusetts, the first state to legalize gay marriage, their divorce rate declined to 21%. from 2003 to 2008. Alaska, the first state to alter their gay marriage stance, their divorce rate increased by 7 to 17% over the 2003 to 2008 year. In this country, we were founded by people who were escaping religious persecution in England to come here and create a country that was separate from church and state. Having gay marriage legal is saying, many people are saying that it's an unnatural form of marriage. Well, in Arab countries, men are usually allowed to take 3 to 4 wives, and that is deemed as natural to them. There's no way to say that there's an untraditional form of marriage in America.
My opponent cites the Massachusetts and Alaska divorce rates to tout the benefits of marriage, but there's no reason that it has to be marriage in order to have stable, long-term relationships. Civil unions for gay and straight Americans allow families to form long-term bonds that are recognized by the government. It allows parents to have children within the stable structure of a family, and it allows the government to recognize tax benefits that come from those stable relationships without ever needing marriage to enter into the equation. He also says that America is founded on a separation of church and state, and that America was built in order to escape religious persecution. I strongly agree. In fact, the best way to separate church and state is to have the government not recognize any marriages so that both gay and straight Americans can have civil unions, and the government doesn't need to regulate what is essentially a religious institution. Finally, he says that gay marriage is not unnatural, that there's no natural form of marriage. We agree with that. But given the current divides in our society, we think that the best way to accomplish the benefits of gay marriage is to have the government not regulate this religious institution at all.
All right, that was the final debate of Woodward Academy Debate Week. We got to hear a little bit of a different debate about same-sex marriage. That was our 4th or 5th or something like that debate about same-sex marriage. And in this debate, for the first time, the con presented a different argument, not that gays shouldn't be allowed to get married, but that no one should be married in government-recognized marriage, and that it should be a civil union. What did you think about that tactic, Mr. Jackson?
Well, personally, I was thinking that we were going to have more of a debate, a discussion of the religious side, as there are some people who oppose gay marriage, and they oppose it from a fervent religious belief that homosexuality is a sin, and that the government shouldn't be condoning same-sex marriage. It was refreshing, however, to see that articulate arguments could be made that don't make the speaker appear to be sexist or homophobic in any way, and that's taking the debate essentially to the next level. That you can agree to be disagreeable without demonizing gays or lesbians, and without the speaker appearing or really be accused of being homophobic. What do you think about that?
I for sure agree with that. I think that as we've watched some of these debates, the best debates were debates where both sides were a little bit more respectful of the opposing side's argument and presented kind of middle ground positions. Some of the debates that were a little weaker were really extreme, and neither side could find any agreement with the other side. And as I think we learned in the drug testing debate yesterday, finding some points of agreement in a controversial policy debate like this is often the way that we can find some resolution and kind of make peace with our opponents in debates like this.
All right, well, very good. This is the essentially our sayonara to Woodward Academy Debate Week 2013. This is the first year we've actually done it. All my classes, both my U.S. history and my government econ class, participated in Debate Week. We had a couple of outside people participate. We had a internal debates where we had a lot of debates from very from perspectives from different people debating. Hopefully, if you like this particular types of debates, that you consider tune in next time. And hopefully we will have this debate week continue as an annual tradition here at Woodward Academy. All right, on behalf of Maggie Berthew and Bill Batterman, I'm Mr. Jackson. Thank you for watching.